Good morning. All right. I think we're live everywhere. I love it. I love it. We are talking about time management today as a working parent. There is some irony to the fact that I am doing this live for you on time management, and I'm about 5, 6 minutes late to my own live stream. But such was the morning. I was dropping off the kiddos at summer camp this morning, and I was like, you know what? Old Elise would have hustled and like run into the house as fast as I could and like not stop to go to the bathroom or grab my coffee or do anything. And I've developed a different relationship with time now, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. And Cara, good morning. So good to see you. I think this topic will resonate a lot with you. By the way, if you're joining live on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, pop me a comment and also let me know, what are your questions on this? We're talking time management as a working parent this morning. And I've got maybe 10, 15 minutes before I've got to hop onto something else. But I wanted to pop on and share a couple of thoughts that were inspired by a coaching call I had yesterday with a private client. And this client comes from a a very like traditional kind of male dominated. And by the way, I want you to know, if you're joining and you're watching and you're a man, like, you're awesome. We love you. We have so many amazing men in the She Sells community. So when I say male dominated, I don't mean anything bad with that. But what I mean is that there is a different approach to time and productivity that tends to exist and that tends to feel aligned for men versus women. And a lot of us don't know this. A lot of us don't know this. So this client comes from a very male dominated field. She is also a mom of a about a 1 year old, and she has some, what a lot of people would say are ambitious goals. Wants to make $1 million this year, which is totally doable, by the way. But the conditioning that she's received around making that money has been that, like, you're going to have to sacrifice everything. You're going to have to work all the time to hit this income goal. And I remember that I had those were my beliefs for so long. And this was even before, like, when my goal was just six figures in my sales and then in my business. It was like I had this belief and this conditioning ingrained that said, if you want to be successful in work, it's going to require that you work 60, 70-hour weeks. It's going to require that you sacrifice everything. It's not possible to have you can't have a $1 million business or sales career if you want and be a present parent. And so I never achieved the goals I actually wanted to achieve because my belief system was that it wasn't possible. And I have really found another way, and it's thanks to studying under incredible mentors. Most of these mentors who have taught me this piece are women who I saw them living a different way. And I saw them, this was when I was, a young mom and still working like 60-hour weeks, trying to be successful. Notice my language in that. And feeling burnt out, depleted, feeling like I was never getting enough done, feeling like I was always behind. Let me know if you can relate to that. Like, pop it in the comments or give me a heart if you can relate to that. Overwhelm was a word that I used all the time. And by the way, I don't use that word anymore, because if we say we're overwhelmed, our brain says yes. And so it gives us more thoughts that align with overwhelm. It gives us more feelings that align with overwhelm. And I just made a decision at some point. I was like, I'm not going to say I'm overwhelmed. So it doesn't, like, not in my vocabulary anymore. But this client yesterday, she was like, is it like, just tell me it's possible. Tell me it's possible that I can achieve my goals and still be a great mom, a great partner, and not be in hustle and burnout all the time. And I was like, yeah. In fact, I believe hustle costs you cash. So if you are in an energy of hustle, what is inherent in the energy of even the word hustle? I got to rush, I got to push, I got to force, lack, scarcity energy, right? Think about the energy of hustle is all about lack and scarcity. Now, I am a driven woman. I get a lot of things done. Like I am focused, I am productive, I get a lot of things done, but not in hustle energy. Not at all. So, really, what we're talking about here is the energy in which you do a thing determines the outcome of a thing. So, if you are approaching your days and your work, whether you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, whether you're in corporate sales, working direct sales, network marketing, I don't care, I don't know, but whatever you're doing, if you're approaching your work from an energy of hustle, force, push, the energy inherent is that in that is not enough, lack, scarcity. You're going to get results that are in accordance with the energy of the work that you're doing. So you're going to get results that mirror to you lack, not enough, scarcity, etc. So the first thing is it's all about the energy that you're in. So this client also asked, she was like, tell me about your days and like how much do you work and what does it look like? And I actually shared a little bit on stories this morning because I've found a cadence that like it feels really good. And it's not to say that there's like I could spend 24 hours a day on my business. I really could. And there's a part of me that loves it. Like a big part, like actually every part of me loves my business. I love what I do. I could work 24 hours a day, get a little bit of sleep, and probably be happy. I love what I do. It's my mission, it's my purpose. And that doesn't work with having little kids at home. We've got two little boys, a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. It doesn't work. So I've had to shift my approach and shift my belief systems about work and time and how things work for me. And so I shared on stories this morning a little bit of like what a normal day looks like right now. And I wanted to pop on and share it too. And then hopefully kind of infuse some of my belief systems because our belief systems are always going to determine the actions we take. So if you're looking to someone for coaching or mentoring, you don't want to just ask them to like give me the things to do. You want to find out what do they believe. You want to learn their belief systems that are getting them the results that they have. Because if you can borrow the belief and learn the belief, then from there, your actions will naturally change as a byproduct. Jen, I just saw you pop on. Happy birthday, beautiful. I was going to send you a message in a little bit. I'm so happy to see you. I'm so glad that you're here. Good morning. I'm so glad everyone is here. Good morning. But it's Jen's birthday, and I wanted to send her a birthday message. So there you go. That's so beautiful. Hopefully, I didn't just completely embarrass you in front of the Instagram world. Anyway, so what I shared with this client was in general, I'm working probably most days 4 to 5 hours a day. It depends on the day. If we are in, and I didn't get to share all this with her yesterday, but I wanted to share this with all of you here. If we are in, like if we're hosting a live event, it's a long day. If I'm hosting a private client intensive, it's a long day. Like those are full days, but those are sprinkled within a much different type of energy most days. Let me see on LinkedIn. Valerie is saying, I love this. I'm a mom of 3 and work from home. Belief systems are so important. I love that. Beautiful. Welcome. And if you have questions on any of this, like, share in the comments. But you're 100% right. And that's why we're having this conversation. Your belief system about what it takes to be successful will influence everything for you. So this is so, so important. So for me, right now, our kids are in summer camp half days. So they get out at noon. My husband is a full-time medical school student. So he's gone during the day, most days, right? So I am doing all the things. I am running our business. I am running our household. Now we are, and I think that sometimes people don't talk about the support they have. And they'll be like, oh, I do it all myself. I don't do it all myself. And I think this is really important for especially women to be transparent about like, if you got support, like share so that other women don't think they're supposed to do all the things themselves. I don't believe in that. We are in the process of finding a new house manager, someone to help me with the personal side of things. So that person is going to be a member of my team. I used to have someone in that role and we moved. And so but I have been doing all the things on the personal side for a bit now. So just to give a little bit of context for this conversation. So my working time right now, my public facing time during the day is 9 to 12 Eastern. Now, I usually get about an hour-ish, depends on the day. Some days it's 30 minutes. This morning it was 20 minutes. Some days it's more like an hour and a half in the morning before everything starts. And I know for some people that works, like they prefer to have their solo time at night or whenever. For me, I'm like a granny. I'm an early bird and I go to bed early. So I love that. That feels good to me. So I'll have like some time in the mornings when I will do like the most important things, like kind of the focus work. I get that done. And then later on in the afternoon, I'm probably getting maybe an hour ish. And again, depending on the day, while my littlest is napping, and then while my oldest is like playing or doing something else. So that's how things are structured. And I had to detach from the belief system that the number of hours I worked determined how much I made. And that's like lower class, middle class thinking. We have to shift from that. I also, for a long time in my life, got a lot of validation out of being the one to work the longest hours. And I did that when I was in corporate. But the interesting thing was the longest hours don't necessarily determine the greatest results. Like I would, and just you can check in with yourself too. Like, are you sitting in front of your computer? Are you taking actions because you think, because they're a should, right? It's like, well, I don't know what else to do. So I'm going to sit behind my computer and like twiddle my thumbs, but you're not actually taking effective, impactful actions. So that's not going to get you anywhere, right? That's not going to get you anywhere. So when I am working, when I'm on, I'm extremely focused. I'm taking action from the end result. So this is really important. Whatever I want you to go to, what's your goal for this year? Do you want to hit, your first 500,000 in your corporate sales job? Do you want to hit 1 million in your business, multi-millions? Okay, what actions would that person be taking every day that would be the revenue producing actions, the most impactful actions? And then those are the things you front load in your day. Those are the things that you're doing consistently. Everything else is a waste of time, right? So there's a lot of stuff I used to do that I don't do as well. Like it is rare that I take a networking meeting unless it's for a specific purpose or call. It is very rare. I don't take coffee chats. And it's not that I wouldn't. Like I think that people are amazing and I'd love to spend time like just sitting and chatting and having coffee, but you can't. Like at a certain level, you have to decide what are the things that I would be saying yes to and what are the things that I would be saying no to from the end result, and what is going to get my focused attention and what's not, and giving yourself permission to say no. Let me see what Valerie is saying on LinkedIn. When I have a live in the afternoon, my husband takes the kiddos to the park. I love that. So we do have help and we are not super women. Yes. Have you ever had clients who don't like the fact that you might have a few shouts in the background during your meetings? Great question. So I've done it every way, Valerie. And I've only been a mom for 4 years. So it's like I've had, it's been a learning curve the past 4 years. And I had to I think every parent has to decide for them what feels good when they're working and what does and doesn't work for them when they're working. I tried to run meetings with my kids around me because I loved the idea and I saw moms doing it. And I've got, an amazing member of my team, my assistant, and it's like her kids are home with her a lot while she's working or while she's on meetings. And I look at her and I'm like, that's amazing that you can do that. And she gets it done and she's incredible. For me, for how I am wired, I have a very hard time personally with that. So I almost always have childcare during my meetings. So I schedule, that's why I'm like, I got these blocks during the day for meetings. And outside of that, it's happening another time. Like the meeting has to happen another time. Because that's how I am wired. I have a hard time with integrating both at the same time. With that being said, if you are a parent who can do that and that feels good to you, that is beautiful. And I think you should do that. And for me, I think it's just all about setting the precedent and the expectation. And I actually had, I booked a keynote a while back and I didn't think that there was something weird with the timing of the call that I had with this meeting planner. And like, somehow he was 3 then, my 3-year-old ended up being home and he was like in the office with me. And it was like one of those days where he was just, he was on another level. And he was like climbing on the seat and like yelling into the phone. And I was like, there's no way I'm getting this keynote. Like, there's just no way. But the woman, I was just honest and I was like, I'm sorry. Like, this is not how I normally run meetings. Um, this is what's up with us today. And he's here and there's probably going to be some background noise. And she was so gracious. She was so gracious. And they booked me for the keynote. And I think people get it. I think people get it. How are you wired? Exactly. So you got to know you. You got to know you and what works best for you. And if it works best for you to have your kids home on meetings, I think it's just setting the expectation that this is how it works. And if someone has a real issue with that, they're not your ideal client. I think people get it today, and they understand. So, does anyone else have questions on this? We're talking time management as a working parent today. By the way, I don't believe in time management. I don't believe in the phrase, but it's what people use. So I'm using it because it's relatable, but I don't believe in time management. You can't manage time. Time is non-linear, and that's another conversation for another day. But you can manage yourself and your energy and your focus and your presence and your activities and also your belief systems about time and how it works for you, how money works for you. I believe, and I instilled the belief in myself that I make money all the time, whether I'm working or not. And I did not believe that when I first said it, but I knew I wanted it to be my reality. And it is now. I make money all the time. Right. And I had to instill that belief first. Then I set up systems in my business to help create that. But I had to start with that belief that that was actually possible for me. So if you're hearing that right now and you're like, I don't make money all the time, I only make money if I'm working, but would you love that? If so, start with that belief and then think about what would I need to change or switch up in how I operate if I did want to make money all the time. What do people do who do make money all the time, even when they're not working, right? And that's more the mindset of wealthy. So you want to be thinking differently about that. I hope that helps you. To everyone who joined, if you have a question, pop it in real quick. I've got a corporate client I'm doing some training for that I've got to hop on a call with them in a minute here. But I hope that serves you. I wanted to pop on and share, like, there is another way. And I think we need more examples of different ways to do business and to do life, where we see people who have a happy home life, who have beautiful relationships with their kids, with their partner, and are simultaneously like crushing it at work, right? And doing a great job and achieving big goals. And by crushing it, I don't mean hustle energy, right? I believe it's about efficacy over effort. What is the efficacy of everything that you're doing? What is the effectiveness of everything that you're doing? And then again, what it all comes down to, what is your belief system as well? So I hope that helps. Send me a DM if you have questions, or if you just want me to answer more questions on this on the next live. Next week, I will not be going live on Tuesday. The kids are out of school the whole week. So I'm momming the whole week. So let me see here. Cara, thank you for talking about this. I feel like it needs to be discussed more. I agree. That's why we're having this live. That's why we're here. And I think like real world, concrete examples of how people do it is so, so, so helpful and important. So I'm glad that this resonated. So again, DM me if you have questions, more questions on this. I want to also share, like, I know we got stuff going on people can get involved in. We've got a free training. If you want to get our free training, 4 quadrants of quantum sales growth, elisearcher.com/4 quadrants. You'll learn a lot more about how to quantum leap your sales without hustle, drive, overwhelm. So you can grab that. We also have our last public facing event of the year happening in Portland, Maine, September 25th and 26th. It is going to be transformational. You can send me a DM, ask for more questions, for more details on that. But we have early bird tickets on sale through August 25th, and we would love to have you. So send me a DM if you want to get more details on that. The events are transformational. You can check my social, look at the comments from the women who've attended the last ones, and people really, really transform and change. So I think that's it for this morning. You're amazing. Send me a DM if you want to go deeper into any of this. Thank you. And I hope this serves you. I'll see you in 2 weeks from today. Bye.